think I've worked in this industry for the past 5 years, and I've known this all along. And there are some very, very well-known brands that are behind this. And I think the problem is there's always a demand out there from the younger people to buy cheap clothes, and the cheaper the better. And I think there's
no questions asked. I mean, if you think that's too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. So don't ask.
Yeah. I think, like, at my age, and doing what I do, I stay clear of these brands. But then, thinking back when I was 18, when I was going out pretty much like 3 or 4 nights a week, and I want a new dress every night, and then I wouldn't have asked the questions, why could I buy a dress for £10 from this brand, but then it's £40 elsewhere? You wouldn't ask that question. So the demand is always there. That's why, like, we know that these brands will go into Leicester and say, right, this is what I want made. What's your price? And the cheapest price always gets the order. And people.
And do we know who? I mean, apart from, I suppose, it's some fairly obvious agencies, government agencies. Who's supposed to have a handle on this? Who is supposed to be going out into the community and helping these people who, presumably, some of them may not be here legally, or they may not have the right work permit, so they're terrified of the authorities.
They're not here legally, so what protection do they have? If they did go to the police, they'll be thinking, right, if I go to the police, am I still going to have a job tomorrow? Am I still going to be here tomorrow? Because they're not protected. And I think that's the really scary part, because these people are not going to come out and say, oh, I'm only being paid £3.50 an hour. We know that's the going rate. We know that's the going rate in Leicester, £3.50 an hour.
You know that, do you?
Well, it's not a secret in the fashion industry.
And I mean, forgive me, but does that not make you complicit in some way? I mean, if the people... Sorry to talk over you, but if the people buying it are, in some sense, complicit, then surely people like you are even guiltier.
Well, we don't touch factories that do that.
But you know all about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm being unfair on you. What could you do realistically about this? I mean... I've been told factories like this close down every 2 years, and then they sprout up somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
And the workforce is a constant, and if you do kick up a fuss, then there'll be somebody waiting to fill your space at the sewing machine before you can say health and safety or human rights or whatever other.
I don't think there's any of that.
That explains, Michelle, thank you. That's a perfect start. And I'm troubled by the casualness. This isn't a criticism of you, Michelle, I promise, but I'm troubled by the casualness with which you relate this.